Climate protesters arrested paint Stonehenge monument orange. Japan, New Zealand agree on Intel sharing pact. Nationwide electricity outage leaves Ecuador in the dark. Train collision in Chile. Heavy rain and flooding in South Texas. McDonald's ends test run of AI-powered drive-thrus with IBM.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Friday, June 21st, and here are your top stories. Two climate protesters were arrested Wednesday for spraying orange paint on the ancient Stonehenge monument in southern England, police said. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak quickly condemned the latest act by Just Stop Oil as a disgraceful act of vandalism. Video of the incident showed two people running toward the 4,500-year-old stone circle and spraying plumes of orange pigment as a third person tried to stop them. A few stones were smeared in orange. Wiltshire police said the pair were arrested on suspicion of damaging one of the world's most famous prehistoric monuments.
Stonehenge was built on the flat lands of Salisbury Plain in stages starting 5,000 years ago, with the unique stone circle erected in the late Neolithic period about 2500 BC. Some of the stones, the so-called bluestones, are known to have come from southwest Wales, nearly 150 miles away, but the origins of others remain a mystery. Just Stop Oil is one of many groups around Europe that have gained attention and received a lot of blowback for disrupting sporting events, splashing paint and food on famous works of art, and interrupting traffic to draw attention to global warming. According to the Just Stop Oil website, the activists who sprayed the pigment were Neve Lynch, 21, a student from Oxford, and Rajan Naidu, 73, from Birmingham.
Japan and New Zealand agreed Wednesday in principle on an intelligence sharing pact as their leaders shared concerns over the increasingly challenging security environment in the region, including closer ties between Russia and North Korea. In a joint statement, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and his New Zealand counterpart Christopher Luxon expressed concern about rising tension in the South China Sea, where China has become increasingly assertive in pressing its territorial claims. The two leaders also agreed to accelerate talks towards signing a pact that would allow the two countries' forces to share logistical support and supplies during bilateral training and other operations.
Under Japan's 2022 national security strategy, the country has been accelerating military buildup and expanding defense partnerships amid threats from China, North Korea, and Russia. Kishida and Luxon condemned, in the strongest possible terms, the increasing military cooperation between North Korea and Russia, including the North's shipment to Russia of ballistic missiles used against Ukraine. Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on Wednesday signed an agreement that pledged mutual aid if either country faces aggression, at a summit held at a time both face escalating standoffs from the West. Japan has signed similar intelligence agreements with 8 other countries, including the United States, Australia, Britain, India, and South Korea, as well as with NATO. Japan is also negotiating with Canada over a similar deal and has agreed with Ukraine to start talks.
A nationwide electricity outage struck Ecuador on Wednesday, leaving the nation of 18 million in the dark, including the capital's subway system, as authorities work to repair faulty power lines, a senior official said on Wednesday. There is a failure in the transmission line that caused a cascade disconnection, so there is no electricity at a national scale. Public Works Minister Roberto Luque said in a post on X. Luque also serves as the country's acting energy minister. A Reuters witness said there was confusion on the streets of Quito, the capital, as traffic lights ceased working.
Operations of Quito's subway system have also ground to a halt. Due to a general failure of the national interconnected electrical energy system, the operation of the Quito Metro is interrupted while the systems are restarted and verified, the metro system said on X. In April, Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa declared an energy emergency and announced planned electricity cuts. While the South American country has struggled with a drought affecting hydroelectricity power generation, heavy rains over the weekend forced authorities to take 3 hydroelectric plants offline. The weekend rains provoked a landslide that killed at least 17 people and left 19 others injured. The disaster prompted Ecuador's private OCP oil pipeline to suspend operations and declare force majeure.
At least 2 rail workers were killed and 9 others injured Thursday when a freight train collided head-on with another train on a test run just outside the capital of Chile, a rare fatal crash in the South American country. Police said they were investigating to determine the cause of the collision, which left the test car sitting fully on top of the freight train. Authorities said they detained the driver of the test train and a railway operator for interrogation on charges of reckless manslaughter. Photos and video of the scene showed one carriage jackknifed several meters into the air above a badly mangled cargo train.
24 emergency vehicles swarmed the tangle of crushed metal as helicopters buzzed overhead in San Bernardo, a district just south of Santiago, the capital. Train service in Santiago remained suspended Thursday following the crash. The 8-car freight train was carrying 1,346 tons of copper, Chile's main export, and had some people on board, while the other train had 10 workers on board operating a speed test, the state rail company said. Security camera footage showed both trains traveling at high speed when they slammed into each other. It wasn't immediately clear why the test train hadn't been alerted to the freight train's approach. Heavy rains have thrashed Chile in recent days, causing floods that have submerged hundreds of houses and displaced thousands of people. The downpour had largely eased in Santiago on Thursday, and it didn't seem to have contributed to the collision.
The first named storm of the hurricane season made landfall in Mexico on Thursday, bringing heavy rain and flooding to the country's Gulf Coast and to Texas. Alberto, which weakened from a tropical storm to a depression, is moving inland over Mexico with maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, the National Hurricane Center said in an update at 10 a.m. local time. Heavy rains and gusty winds were starting to subside for the Texas coast, but moderate coastal flooding was likely through the morning, the National Hurricane Center said in a public advisory. Life-threatening flooding and mudslides were likely in some areas of northeastern Mexico.
A tropical storm warning that was in effect for the Texas coast from San Luis Pass southward to the mouth of the Rio Grande was lifted early Thursday. A warning remained in effect for the northeastern coast of Mexico south of the mouth of the Rio Grande to Tecolutla, it said. Already on Wednesday, parts of Texas experienced at least moderate flooding with streets transformed into waterways. Governor Greg Abbott Wednesday issued a disaster declaration for 51 Texas counties as the storm advanced, to ensure Texans and at-risk regions have the resources and personnel needed to respond to this storm, he said in a statement. The Texas A&M Forest Service mobilized at least 4 teams comprising 100 personnel and 24 vehicles, while the Texas National Guard had 3 platoons with a total of more than 40 personnel, along with 20 vehicles, including Chinook helicopters, at the ready.
McDonald's confirmed Monday that it decided to end a global partnership with IBM, which has been testing this artificial intelligence technology at select McDonald's drive-thrus since 2021. That doesn't mean you will never encounter some sort of chatbot while picking up fries on your car ride home again. While IBM partnership for McDonald's current automated order taker test is winding down, the Chicago-based company suggested that it wasn't ruling out any other potential AI drive-thru plans down the road, pointing to an opportunity to explore voice ordering solutions more broadly.
Numerous fast food chains have begun exploring the implementation of AI across operations over recent years, with many pointing to possibilities of maximizing speed and cutting costs. In the U.S., Wendy's partnered with Google Cloud to develop Wendy's Fresh AI chatbot. White Castle teamed up with SoundHound AI with a goal of bringing voice-powered AI technology to more than 100 restaurants by the end of 2024. And a handful of Panera, Arby's and Popeyes locations have brought OpenCity's Tori voice assistant to their order lanes. Beyond America, Popeyes UK also launched its first AI-powered drive-thru, dubbed AL, last month, after the company said a pilot program reported 97% accuracy. Success for AI-powered drive-thrus has been mixed. McDonald's automated order taker with IBM received scores of complaints in recent years.
The answer for yesterday was A, overwhelming. She had the almost overwhelming desire to tell him the truth. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of McDonald's and test round of AI-powered drive-thrus with IBM. Number 1. Automate, 使自动化. The factory is now fully automated. Number 2. Maximize, 使增加到最大限度. Maximize the window to full screen. Number 3. Accuracy, 准确性、精确性. They question the accuracy of the information in the file. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced next week. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.